So good day, everyone. My name is John Paul H. Bebanco, and I am a student of University of Mindanao. And today we're going to talk about communicating and cultural fields that was given to me by my professor. Moving on. Whether we remain commitment to the linguistic turn or take up the analytical attitude associated with a pictorial turn, we are acknowledging that visual texts are not just wallpapers, but are always stuffed with communication. So as we all know, years ago, we came up with a strategy that we've been developing our language in order for us to communicate with others so that we can communicate with others. So that is what we call linguistic turn, the development of languages. And the pictorial turn, was it was occurred on late 90s with the invention of new technologies. That is why they were able to produce uh, images or pictures that caught the attention of the the citizens that made it popular. And the visual text as well are not just wallpapers, as we all know, because a lot of visual texts uh, are encrypted with message that the painters, nilagyan ng painters ng meaning lahat ng mga paints nila. And visual text also are not just the picture itself, not just the image itself, but it shows or portrays a message to every people who sees it. However, they do not communicate objectively or in a vacuum. And any instance of visual communication is invested in what Pierre Bourdieu calls the cultural field, in which the communication is made and in which it is analyzed. So the visual text is kunwari, may iba't iba tayong perspective in every cultural field. I'll give you an instance. Every example, I'm a Filipino, and some foreign painters painted uh, some paintings that ano na naga-define sa place nila. And we Filipinos, di masyado natin, 'di ba, ma-appreciate actually we do appreciate the medium, on how he or they painted the paintings as well. And but as we see the perspectives of our Filipino people, di hindi masyado natin ma-appreciate yung mga ganong mga bagay, kasi iba't iba tayo we have different culture, we have different practices, we have different insights. So that particular painter, artist, is parang nagiging subjective siya in terms of his paintings, not objective. It's not his main goal na mag-caught ng attention sa lahat ng tao, but he wants to portray his painting subjectively, like kung sino yung makaka-appreciate, okay na yun. So moving on, to consider the aspect of cultural field, we must take into account the social-cultural status of the fields. That's what I've said a while ago, and groups of and individuals producing visual text. So as that's what I've said before, it depends kung sino yung yung artist, kung sino yung who painted that particular text, particular visual text. And different individuals within fields and different ways of negotiating the fields affect the degree to which the meanings are made are seen to be authoritative or true. So, ang paintings natin is not all about the objectivity of every syempre, as we all know, maraming na ini-misinterpret dito lahat, kasi lahat dapat ng mga paintings, mga mindset ng iba, lahat po ng paintings kasi akala nila we should be na it needs ano, like dapat maintindihan talaga lahat ng tao, but it doesn't it doesn't work that way. Ang iba pong painters is nagiging subjective po sila sa kanilang paintings, nagiging ano sila sa mga they depend on their cultural fields as well. And yeah, moving on. Mark Poster, he develops this issue, arguing that we do not see simply what is there, but that what he terms different visual regimes or different economies of looking and seeing obtaining at different historical moments and in different contexts. So I'll give you an instance. There is a painter, a professional painter, and a professional painter, and ang isa is not that professional in terms of paintings. So mag-present tayo ng isang visual painting na parang ano lang siya, parang ordinary lang siya na makakot din ang attention ng iba, but in the perspective of the professional artist, he sees it as parang ano lang, ordinary or usual lang na paintings na gina-paint ng ibang tao. But as I've said, yung kanina, yung not professional masyado na artist, he sees it as the best, that parang ano na yun sa kanya, parang you call this one, parang paint na yun na nakakot ng attention nila, or he sees it as an exquisite painting like that, na parang yun na yung ano niya, level of skills niya in terms of painting. So yeah, yun ang insight ni Mark Poster, na every painting is not just what we see, but what we feel in terms of because we have different perspectives, we have different cultural fields. So probably as we pag may makita tayong mga paintings, we have different perspectives. We have different perspectives because we have different cultures, basic. And moving on, if we circulated this text across various fields and contexts, the response we would most likely receive was that it was a sweet or quaint, or in other words, that is naive, childish, and not in a way representative of the real world. The reasons for this are obvious. Firstly, it looks like child's drawing, and children are usually understood within Western culture as having at best and to nose relation to reality. Children aren't educated and lack access to the kinds of knowledge. So as we can see sa drawing na nasa PowerPoint, many would say na parang many children would say na medyo attractive siya in terms of colors, because marami masyadong colors na makakot ng attention ng iba. In terms of, actually, if you are, ako nga pag ako yung bata, nakaka-attract nga yung kulay nila. Pero pag tumawag talaga tayo ng mga bata, they see it as an attractive drawing because of the colors, because of the drawing itself. But as we put ourselves in a real world, many would say na masyadong basic na yung pag-drawing nila, kasi we have different levels of skills, we have different cultural fields, we have different mindsets in every way sa ating life in terms of paintings din. And children aren't educated and lack access to it. Yeah. So di masyado pa na brief ang mga children in terms of the drawings, but there are children na early age pa lang, they already know how to draw professionally, like every detail of the person, every detail of the face, of the house, they can do it. But the majority of the children aren't educated in terms of paintings. That is why the teachers always teach students to draw, to be productive in terms of drawing, and yeah. So we have different perspectives, we have different insights in every visual text we see. The extent to which text can communicate the real world is partly determined by the field from which they are or the people evaluating them emerge. If we ask a group of children in a preschool about the drawing, for an instance, they might accept it as realistic. And there are fields where the scientific representations are given the status normally reserved outside the playground, at least for a child's drawing. So as we can see the difference between two pictures, one is sa drawing ng mga bata, and the one is, I don't know if it's a drawing or a picture, or I don't know, just posted it here. And let's pretend that it was a drawing. It's a drawing. So as we can see the difference, medyo we could already see the difference in terms of the details, the the formation of the house, the family, and we could already determine what is saan ang mas realistic sa dalawa. So, yan na nga, the extent to which text can communicate the real world is partly determined by the field from which they are or the people evaluating them emerge. So, it depends kung, syempre, mas mag-deal talaga tayo sa mga mas mag-prefer talaga tayo sa mga drawings na mas realistic, but pag ano tayo ng bata to examine this two pictures, they would choose this na may kulay kasi yan pa lang kasi yung level of ano nila, parang skills nila. Not we have that's ilang beses kong sinabi na we have different perspectives, we have different skills, we have different level of skills in terms of painting. So, syempre, may ano pa rin dyan, may makakot pa rin ang attention sa children's drawing. So, do you have questions or clarifications? So, small explanation lang. Mayroon akong example regarding this topic. So, let's put our situation like nasa school tayo, and then we call for a judge that came from a different department, as we chose engineering department, and yung isa is engineering department, and yung isa is the education department, like yung mga aspiring teachers. So, kunwari, mag-present tayo sa kanila ng pictures, ng mga diagrams, ng mga shapes, ng mga drawings, mga arts, mga paintings. So obviously, the two judges would say na mas maganda yung sa kabila, because we do have a different perspective in terms of paintings. Syempre, ang engineering, they are used of being a master of drawing, diba? Like, nagda-draw sila ng bahay, like every detail of the house, kailangan nila yung i-master every inch of an architecture din pala. Marunong yun din yung ano nila, yun ang advantage nila sa mga iba kasi they practice drawing talaga sa mga bahay. That's why medyo sila in terms of drawing. So, syempre, balik tayo dun sa judges. the two judges, the teacher department or the education department, the engineering department, have different perspectives in terms of their paintings. Siyempre, nag-present tayo ng ng iba't ibang pictures. They have different tastes. They have different cultural fields. May yung teacher naka-appreciate ng isang drawing because of parang may resemblance siya in terms of sa culture. Kunwari yung isang teacher is iba't ibang lahi. Ang isa is Ilocano and isa is Muslim. Tapos yung isang Muslim na judge, which is the engineering, is nag-present ng ano yung student niya. Like, ang concept ng arts nila is all about Muslims. So, syempre, in terms of parang ma-attach niya yung sarili niya sa painting na yon mismo because of their cultural fields. We have kasi yung every arts and every paintings, may iba't iba kasi tayong mas ma-attach tayo kung saan talaga natin ang mas nakasanayan natin or mas na-attach tayo because of our cultural fields. And we also communicate ourselves into that picture, into that artist, into that paintings because we can see ourselves because di ba? Dami yung explanation. Nauutal na ako. Mas na-engage yung sarili niya sa yung specific na paintings because may iba't iba talaga tayong cultural fields and syempre yung ibang mga judge is hindi masyado nila magets yung ibang paintings because we do have different cultures. Yes. Yun lang. So questions. If you don't have questions, you can thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. And if you have questions or clarifications, just contact me through this social media platforms or my personal number. And that is up, guys. Thank you for listening and hope you have a wonderful day. Keep safe and God bless. Thank you, everyone.